if you crave someone constantly giving you like, good job, you're amazing as a business owner, you don't get that. Nobody's telling you that. We're your hosts, Sahara Embry
and Michaela Bedoyan. From working corporate 9-to-5s to running $1 million companies,
we're bringing you the inside scoop of what it takes to start and scale your business.
We're keeping things real, raw, and unfiltered.
This is the Rise and Refine podcast. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning. Let's start this off with a few words, which is it's okay to not want to be a business owner. We are doing the complete opposite of what we normally talk about,
which is business ownership. And we're going to tell you exactly all the ways of why you shouldn't become a business owner.
Exactly. But something that we really want to talk to everybody about is that it's okay to not want to be a business owner. There are so many other ways you can grow within a career, within yourself, and what goals that you set. And so we want to kind of give you the behind the scenes of why you might not want to be one, because we don't want to make business ownership seem like something everybody should do, because not everybody should do it.
Most definitely. And I feel like there's just a lot of glamorizing business ownership happening right now, especially with social media. It looks like it's very easy to become an entrepreneur. And I think that the barriers to entry with entrepreneurship have come down. The walls have come down a little bit. But there's a lot that goes into it that isn't talked about often. So this conversation is really for those who might be dreaming about owning their own business, having their own business, and we're just gonna
or maybe you're already running a business and you're like, I don't know if this is for me.
Yeah,
and you need to do a reality check.
Yeah, you dipped your toes in and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean you failed. It just means like you have to really sit down, figure out what works best for your life and your personality, and make decisions based on that. So
this conversation is here to help you hopefully understand a little bit better about what you're stepping into.
Exactly. Let's go through some myths first that I wrote down.
Let's do it.
So the first one that I wrote down was being your own boss means total freedom. And this is
laughable because you quit your 9-to-5 to work a
9-to-5
or 7-to-10,
7-to-10, like whatever the hours, 24/7, like you're on all times of every day. Especially in those first like 5 years of grind time.
Yeah, that was very hard for me to understand on our first year of Refined. I really thought that quitting meant that I would have that time freedom. It does allow you to have freedom in certain ways with your calendar, making sure that you can schedule certain vacations or be present with your family for the holidays and things like that, which is what was stripped from me with working in corporate. So I appreciated that. But there's so much that goes into it that you really don't have like all the time in the world to take a month-long vacation.
It's the complete opposite of freedom. I feel like it's not freedom at all.
No.
Like the pro of it is that you do, it really in discipline. But the pro of it is that, like Michaela said, like if I want to take my daughter to dance at 3:30 every Wednesday, I can.
Yes.
The con being, but I still have to get shit done. So I'll take her to dance, but then I'm going to work late that night to make sure that I make up for the hours that I missed. And so you have to be very disciplined to still get in your hours and to continue to work. But it's so opposite of freedom. We did an episode, it was yesterday, I think, where we talked about like, if you wake up, you're feeling sick, you still have stuff to get done.
Yeah.
And you have to remember that.
Because at the end of the day, it is your business. So if you are not working in your business or on your business, you are not moving the needle forward and you're not going to be growing in the way that you ultimately want to.
No, 100%.
And so the next myth is passion guarantees success.
I love this one because sometimes people have this passion and they think, well, if I'm just passionate about it, I'll automatically be successful. I'm like, there's so much more that goes in between. And that podcast I shared with you, the other one, she talked about it. She was like, I had this passion to start this fashion brand, but I had no clue the in between of actually running a successful company.
Yeah.
It's so opposite. You can have a passion for someone, but it does not equate success.
Yeah. And that podcast episode, I want to make sure that we actually mention it because Sahara and I have fallen in love with this one episode in and of itself.
And the girl boss.
It is the Mel Robbins podcast. And the episode title is quite literally, if you only listen to one podcast today, make it this one.
Yep.
And it's going to change your life.
It's so good. And it's funny because we planned this episode before I listened to that one.
Yeah.
And at the very end of that episode, she literally says, being a business owner is not for everyone. I was like, we're literally talking about that. So there's so much. But yeah, passion just doesn't guarantee success. It really doesn't. So I think that speaks for itself. All right, the next one. Entrepreneurs always make lots of money fast.
Do people really think that?
Yeah, people really think that like you start a business, you're just gonna make money.
That's not how it works.
No, like
I wish it was that. Like,
and
holy heck.
that's why so many businesses fail within the first 5 years
Yeah.
because they don't understand that, being a business owner doesn't mean you make money every year. Even if you're Amazon,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're going to make money every single year. Like you have more expenses some years than others. You don't just get piles of money as soon as you open up a business. And once you do start making money, it doesn't mean that every year from there you're going to make money. Like it doesn't. Because this year for Ember Group, I'll actually probably make less money than last year because of the expenses of the new building and some other stuff we had. But we did more transactions and sales this year.
Interesting.
So it doesn't mean every year is another increase. It just doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's a good one.
Yeah, it really is. So if you're starting business because you want to make a lot of money, rethink that. Don't do it just because of money.
It's not going to be an instantaneous thing. Yeah. If money is your only driving factor, you definitely need to reevaluate. And you need to figure out, what really, yes, it can stem from a passion. You need to have a deeper understanding of why you're doing it. So what is that why? What is that big dream? And then you need to think about that big dream. You need to take action on that big dream like you're already living in it. And that's really the only thing that's going to keep you moving forward, especially on the hard days, weeks, months, years of your business.
Yes.
The last myth that we want to touch on is you have to quit your job immediately to be a real entrepreneur.
No, you didn't quit your job immediately. And even once you quit corporate job, you still worked for me in between as we were starting Refine. You got to if you have a family support and bills and you don't naturally have a huge nest egg saved up. Some people do. You have to figure out a way to still make money. It's okay to kind of do it for a little bit, but you have to know when to quit.
In totality, I think that this is just kind of a general rule of thumb. You need to have 6 months of your expenses saved up in order to be safe or cushy.
100%.
And thankfully, with my corporate job, I was able to invest heavily on the front end with Refine to get it off the ground in terms of all of the equipment that I needed, the software, the subscriptions, things like that I personally needed, not just what Refine needed, but what I personally needed in my own home office, outside of this office here. So that's definitely a myth. I know plenty of insanely successful business owners who still work a 9 to 5 or they've cut back to part-time just so that they have that extra cushion before they move into full-time business ownership.
There's a few myths. So let's kind of get into why you maybe really shouldn't be a business owner. And one of the things we want to talk about is social media, in a sense, glamorizing becoming an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like every day. It's like
it's everywhere.
Boss babe, like make millions, like I make this much, like it's everywhere.
And it's great to empower people with the idea of business ownership, with the idea of entrepreneurship, with the idea of owning something for yourself, to be able to build a family legacy business. I think, those are beautiful things. And that's both part of why we entered entrepreneurship in the way that we did. However, sometimes if you are not ready to take on full responsibility, if you are not ready to take on the risk, you might just want to rethink and maybe work within a company, a corporation, work your way up in that and get to whatever, monetary goal that is for you. Make sure that company aligns with your core values, with your vision for your own life.
Yeah, the glamorizing side of social media too. I think what they don't really show too is how lonely it can be that first year you start up.
Yeah.
How financially you're not going to make that money. How you're grinding and grinding and grinding with no results in the beginning. Like you don't just get to post on social media and all of a sudden you get clients. Like the work that goes into everybody's story who is successful, it's so much work. And some people put in work and guess what? The business doesn't work.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So you have to know those risks going into it. You have to devote so much time. You have to make so many sacrifices. And it's okay to not want to do all that.
Yeah.
And to instead have a consistent great job. Like, I love my employees. I love them so much. They don't necessarily want to go out there and be entrepreneurs right now. They've got families and they just want to work at a company that respects them and values them, and they have consistency in their life as they raise their families. That's an okay thing to want.
Yes. You also, though, have to understand how much of a mindset switch it is to go from being an employee to a business owner.
So much discipline.
It is so much discipline. You have to take on so much more responsibility. You have to really not be in control of, because I don't think we're ever in control of our lives to the full extent.
You have to sacrifice so much.
But you have to, yes. And you have to understand that what you're doing now, you're probably not going to see the results of for 3 to 5 years.
100%. You will not.
It is all about planting seeds. And she was just having a leadership kind of like breakfast chat with some of the leaders in her real estate team. And we just genuinely talked about that, of like, most of the work that you're doing right now, you will not see the fruits of your labor for quite some time, because it is all about sowing seeds. You don't know where those seeds are going to fall, if they're going to fall on fertile soil, if they're going to fall on rocky soil. You don't know if that seed is for you
will happen.
or
Doesn't
for somebody
mean everything's
else.
going to plant and be beautiful.
Exactly. And that is so much what entrepreneurship is. And that is the side that social media does not see most often.
No.
And that's not what's talked about. The
no.
second point is the stress of inconsistent income and financial risk. I can talk about this more recently than Sahara can. So 6 months after we officially launched Refine, we launched Refine on June 28th of 2023. And 6 months in, so we're at February or January at this time. We were going good. We had a couple clients, but it got to the point where I was like, my savings are running dry. We're not making what I thought we were going to be making. I thought it was going to be like
so
that.
6 months in, she should be making 6 figures.
Yeah.
Had to go through a lot of these myths and like misconceptions.
Oh, most definitely. I have literally lived all of these. But that first 6 months in, I was like, oh my gosh, either something needs to happen within Refined, or I'm going to have to get a part-time job to be able to kind of even out all of the expenses that are happening between the business and just my personal life to live. And I was going paycheck to paycheck at this very time. Like I said, I wasn't actually making any money from Refined at the time. I was working for Sahara with a couple of her other companies doing odd and end things within the marketing department to help balance everything out. And I had a conversation with her. I was like, if this doesn't happen by the end of February, I'm going to have to look and see what I can, find to kind of substitute here. Thankfully, it all worked out, and we got a burst of clients just from consistent content, from outreach, from not cold DMing, but just networking. A lot of networking happened. And we were able to amp up our client load, which obviously amped up the amount that we were bringing in. And we were going to be okay after that.
Yeah.
We ended up being okay. And we hit our first $10,000 month in February. And we really
you had to push through,
though.
You had to just push through, and your mindset had to push through. And that's what I told Michaela. I was like, okay, 1, are we losing money? No. Are we in debt? No. Are we making some money? Yes. Is it what you expected? No. But you can't be 6 months into this business and expect to already be making a huge salary. That's not realistic as a business owner, and you need to understand that.
And I didn't actually make money from Refined until month 10.
Yeah, around there was when we started.
When I started.
We had to get through those months and stuff.
And in my first year of Refined, or the first year, end of year 1 going into year 2, I only it came out to $30,000.
Yeah.
So just to be brutally honest with you guys right now, and to kind of rip off the Band-Aid.
And Sahara made 0.
Yeah,
I was actually negative because I helped fund it.
Sahara made 0. I made $30,000. That's it.
Yeah.
And so we had to make sure that, 1, financially, we were both okay. Thankfully, I had Casey to help with all the rest of the expenses that we were taking on. My savings were there. I had done my due diligence with saving the 6 months, over 6 months for me, but I had done that. And so we were in a good place. Sahara having her other businesses that she had already built, she had the income streams coming in from those. And we were okay.
Yeah.
But just for the hard reality of what it actually looked like to start and get refined to where it is, that's what it took from both of us.
100%. And it's going to take that. And so some people don't have, you know, just realize that like if you are trying to make money and you need to make money faster, then go get a job with a salary with a corporate ladder that you can climb.
Most definitely.
Do not become a business owner because I promise you right now it's going to take time. But if you understand the risk and the grind and that year one is not going to just equate to you being a millionaire, then you have to, and you have time and you can kind of balance it, then you're good.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
Most of the successful business owners that you see on social media or the influencers or the brands that you see, they all have years of posting or years of experience or years of R&D under the belt that you just seemingly do not see. And we're talking like 5, 10, 15 years. I mean, we've said this a couple times, I think, on here, but like Alex Earl, she seems like an overnight success on TikTok. She spent the first 10 years when she was making YouTube videos and just posting to post because she actually enjoyed it. And then when she hit Miami and went to college at Miami, that's when she started blowing up.
Yeah.
But you don't see all of the times that she taught herself how to edit, how she taught herself storytelling within her own
She figured
brand.
out what worked with her audience.
She figured it all out. But you don't see any of that. You just see the result of who she is now and what she has become.
Or the hard work that it takes and the long schedules and the days. Every day that doesn't go away. All right. The next one is loneliness and decision fatigue. Why that happens like every day.
Yeah. That is something that I did not realize is you are wearing every single hat. And yes, we are a little bit more blessed than others because we do have each other and as business partners within Refined and within this podcast and other things. But you still have to, like for me, I'm still the creative director. I'm still the designer. I'm still the, lead designer when it comes to all of our client projects. I'm still the social media content creator. I'm still the videographer. I'm still the photographer. Obviously, yes, we have a professional videographer for this. We have, when we do photo shoots, we hire out for those, but I'm still wearing all of those hats. Sahara, you want to talk about your roles in this?
I mean, accounting,
lawyer,
systems, paperwork, processing, sales pitch, like all those things, follow up with clients, making sure that I have conversations with Michaela, like get this done for this client. Let's make it happen. Like, let's keep everybody on track.
My therapist. She is my therapist.
Like making sure that things are organized and structured and that this podcast runs as smoothly as it can. So I've got 1,000 hats for everything at this point.
Yes, most
but
definitely.
I mean, you kind of get used to wearing those hats, but it is like something that's not meant for everybody.
No, but it's a shift. It's
a shift for sure.
It was hard. I broke down so many times of just like, I cannot do this.
Yeah.
Especially with being the face of Refined on social media. Like just the weight of that when we first got started, it was daunting.
Yeah. It's a mindset
It almost
shift.
Crumbled me there for a hot minute. But it was like a smack in the face of like, you either have to do this to grow your business or you need to pick something else to do.
Yeah.
And so decided to step into the uncomfortability that I was feeling and get comfortable being on camera. And it still 100%. Is not comfortable by any means. It's like, it's not natural for me.
No.
But I'm able to sit here, look at 3 cameras and be fine.
Yeah. And to me, a respected, great business owner will always wear a lot of hats because like, for me, it's like, okay, if someone doesn't show up or if like something needs done, I need to be able to jump in and help where needed as much as I can and make those like decisions and make sure I wear all those hats. So, and that's just not something we're talking about why you shouldn't be a business owner. Like a lot of people don't like wearing a lot of hats. They like having one thing they're really good at and focusing on that. And if that's you, then don't be a business owner because you're going to have to get used to wearing a lot of hats.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Then there's the pressure to perform and the fear of failure that is accompanied with that. So the fear of failure for me is probably the strongest driving factor. Would you say it's probably the same for you?
Every day. It's what drives me. It's what keeps me going because it's like, can't back down now. Can't fail now. Gotta keep going.
Too far in. You can't go back now.
Literally can't turn around. But I mean, I'm used to failing in small ways. Like, you know, we talk
you fail
about
every
that.
single day. I mean, like not you, but like we fail every single day in our businesses.
But it's like, so the small, like that's another thing of why you might not want to be a business owner. If you hate failing, well, you're going to fail every day. But the fear of failure at the overall, like the big picture one is what keeps me going.
Yeah.
So, but you fail every day. If you hate rejection, if you hate failing, if you hate having to work past 5 o'clock, you hate having to work on weekends sometimes. Like, if you like consistency and income, all these are reasons why you should not be a business owner, because all these things will happen and it's not a perfect circle of how it looks and what people think.
Yeah. I mean, again, Instagram has really romanticized the idea of time freedom, of business ownership, of entrepreneurship, of like the freedom lifestyle in and of itself.
Yeah, and it really has.
It's not as glamorous as it looks. You're not seeing the late nights. Yes, you're seeing the founder stories. Yes, you're seeing people, you know, bringing you along with them and building their businesses or their brands. And that's a beautiful thing. And I think I love that the trajectory of social media is going in that way, especially on Instagram right now. But you're not seeing all the late nights. You're not seeing, you know, breaking down, crying on the floor of like, truly feeling the weight of your entire company on your shoulders.
Nobody is now, it's not naturally for somebody to want to post that stuff. So that's why you don't see it.
No.
But to a lot of business owners almost do forget to what it took to get to where they are.
Oh, yeah.
And they forget to talk about it and remind people of it. And yeah, it's just very unrealistic. It really is. Like, you can't possibly, if you truly want to know what it's like to be a business owner, here's what I think you should do. Reach out to local business owners in your area who are doing something similar, or even just a random business owner. Reach out to those CEOs, as many as you can, and figure out who you can shadow for a week. Yeah. And shadow them and see how you mentally feel by the end of the week. Yeah. Because I promise you, they'll let you do it. Like if somebody messaged me today and was like, "Can I shadow you?" I may be opening this up, but if somebody messaged me today and they asked to shadow me, I've already been asked before and I said 100% you can. So shadow them, see what real life is like before you jump into it, because it is not at all what social media it is.
No, not at all. And then there's the mental health side of entrepreneurship. We've done multiple podcast episodes on this. Our relaunch of season 2, our first episode, we actually go into pretty good detail on the mental health toll that Sahara and I both experienced at the beginning of this year, beginning of 2025. So I would say, like, if you really want our true and honest thoughts of what we walked through, how we overcame that, and where we decided to pivot, and, you know, how we decided to change from that, go listen back to that episode. We're not going to touch on that too much.
Mental health is every day, especially in entrepreneurship. Like, it's every day. Like right now,
you just have to be aware of it.
You do have to be aware of it, and you have to be aware of burnout. But yeah, if you don't think people are tired and exhausted and mentally draining, like we did 5 episodes yesterday, we're doing 5 today. We are tired, but we know we have to get it done, and we committed to it. Right?
I had children, teenagers. I don't even know who they were, but they were scream laughing, which I love that they were joyful, but they were scream laughing at 2 a.m. last night in the hotel. And I am tired, but we're showing up. We're here, and we're making the most of it,
because we made a commitment, and we're business owners, and we have to.
Yes. And we want to. Like, yes, we have to, but we also want to.
Yeah.
Like,
but there's some days, let's not glamorize it. There's some days we don't want to.
No.
There's some days we have to.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of days where part of being not wanting to be a business owner, you have to. Not a want thing. It's a have to thing. And I want to make that clear. Every day, there's things we get to do that we love and are joyful. And we talked about in plenty of episodes about the beauty of it. And there are days where we show up because we have to.
And your KPI, whatever you want to think is going to be your KPI as a business owner, that thing is going to be long.
Changes 1,000 times.
But 2, you are not going to love every single thing that you have to do.
No.
It's just, you're not going to.
No.
The admin work, the like nitty gritty back end software updates process work, I don't like that stuff.
No.
That's Sahara's bread and butter, not mine. I would much rather be fiddling around in Illustrator, talking with clients, helping them through, designing on Short, whatever it is. the process stuff is not for me. However, I have to do it in order for us to be able to grow, refine in the way that we want to. So moving on. But we have already talked about kind of like the grind versus the glam, what people are not seeing. So just kind of going back to what we were talking about at the very beginning of owning a business, it's less about having a passion and it's more about having the vision for yourself, your life, your family's life, where you want to go. Yes, but also where is this business going? Who are you helping? And if your mission at the forefront is to help or to serve or to fill a need, your business is going to do well because it's taking the point of view off of you and placing it onto actually helping and serving other people. And that is at the core of Refine. That is what we truly believe. And then it's about the discipline and the endurance to actually carry that vision through.
Discipline, the grind, it's always there. And, you know, we've talked about this before, but being a business owner means making decisions everyone won't agree upon. Being a business owner means your friends and family might not understand. Why can't you come to this event today? What do you mean you have to do that? Like, being a business owner is, at the end of the day, making a lot of sacrifices. And some people may not be ready to make those sacrifices. Like, if you, for example, travel all the time and you have the luxury of being able to travel and leave when you want, right? You're going to probably have to make sacrifices and stay home more and work hard. Like, you have to make, if you are used to going to events and networking things and being out with your friends a lot, you got to make sacrifices sometimes and miss more of those, especially in the beginning. And so I think some people are not willing to make sacrifices, or they say they are, and then they don't realize when they make them what that feels like. And they're like, wait, I don't like this.
I worked more weekends in our first year and a half, 2 years of Refine than I have ever worked in my whole life. It got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm only going to be taking off this weekend this month. Like, this is my free weekend. All the other weekends I would be working, and I would have to set up in advance, far in advance, a time for actual vacation or like family vacations. And I would plan them out so that I'd have something to look forward to, because you would get so ingrained in the day-to-day of building your business or helping your clients.
We're not trying to tell everybody like to not do it. We're just trying to tell people realistic expectations of what it actually takes and the reality of it, and try to talk about that more and letting people know, like, you do have to make sacrifices. You do have to grind. You financially probably will not be rewarded the first few years. And these things are okay, but you need to understand what it's going to take before you make that decision. And being a business owner is not for everybody's personality. You can go out and get a corporate job and freaking kill it and make consistent income and not have any of the risk. Like, you know, being a business owner is a lot of risk taking. And some people just naturally do not want that. And it's okay. Don't let anybody force you to feel like you need to be a business owner. Do it if you want to do it.
Well, and there's nothing wrong. Hear us when we say this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting stability, support, structure. I used to thrive on those things, but I just learned that corporate, over the course of time of what I was dealing with and what I was in, it just wasn't for me. And I had this vision and I had this desire in my heart to build this. And it was, you know, it was placed in our Sahara and I's lives 4 years before it actually came to fruition. So it's not an overnight thing. You're not going to be an overnight success, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting stability, support, structure.
100%. And I like
not
these.
Everyone is meant to do their own thing.
No, 100%. I like what you wrote down here, just four key points, but you might not be ready for it if you shut down at the first sign of failure or feedback. Like, if you don't like feedback, rejection, definitely do not do it. If you feel that, these are kind of key points you can kind of go through and have an honest conversation with yourself. Okay, how would I feel about these things?
And if you are a business owner and you are feeling these things, because yes, Sarah, like, we still struggle with these points as well, but we're actively working on changing our mindset and holding our thoughts captive and actually seeing what we're thinking through and how we're talking about our businesses, because that is so important. Because if you're constantly speaking negative over your business,
nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
You're literally going to shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that your words hold so much value. They are so powerful. And you have to, even if you don't feel it,
you
speak
have
life over your business.
You literally have to. If you hate making decisions and crave constant direction.
Yeah.
Right. And if you also, this is a big one. If you crave someone constantly giving you like, good job, you're amazing as a business owner, you don't get that.
No.
Nobody's telling you, good job, you did it today, here's a raise. Nobody's telling you that.
I sometimes have to text her and be like, please tell me I'm doing okay.
Yes, literally. So maybe find a person who can help sell you those things if you are a business owner, but just getting into it, just remember it can be lonely sometimes. I don't wake up every day and someone's like, good job, Sarah, you did so great on that project. You got to own it and know you did good, right? But if you're looking for fast money or viral success, definitely do not do it. And then last one is you expect success to come just from posting content. Yeah. Like you see other business owners post on social media and you're like, oh, wow, they're doing so good. And all it took was them posting to achieve success. No, that's not true.
No, I mean, there is something to posting consistently, but even consistency nowadays is not going to guarantee you success on social media.
No,
it all goes back to having a real strategy. And we're learning that more than ever right now with bringing on a social media or outsourcing to a social media team with Refined's Instagram specifically, because it just got to be too much for us to be able to handle alongside of our day-to-day task and alongside with, the future of Refined. And just walking through our first meeting with them, it was insane the amount of legwork that they did before even scheduling our first post or creating our first post.
Legwork we couldn't have done.
No.
And so it's really important. But there's nothing wrong with wanting stability, with wanting support, with wanting structure. Like not everyone wants to build their own thing. Don't let anyone tell you that just because you want those things makes you less ambitious of a person.
Right.
I have employees who are so ambitious. They're just as ambitious as me, right?
Yeah.
But they are ambitious in their own ways and they don't necessarily want to do it on their own. No. And that's okay. So it is okay to not want to be a business owner.
Yeah. You don't have to take on the risk. Like you really don't. There are so many incredible brands out there, businesses, corporations. And if that is you and you're like, maybe this isn't for me, find a company that you truly believe in their mission and their values and stand behind them. Work your way up in that. Jump around, see what works for you, what doesn't. Learn different leadership styles, what you respond to, what you don't respond to. And also understand that sometimes too, maybe the problem is you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be the hey, big sister, tough love, but sometimes you really are the problem and you have to understand and take responsibility for your own life and your own actions and be like, okay, you know what? I've been having consistent negative results. Who is the common denominator here? Yeah. Is it your employer or you as a business owner?
Can you have an honest conversation with yourself?
Or is it you? Yeah. And look at yourself through an honest lens because at the end of the day, that is truly what we're here for, is to help you learn, to help you grow, to help expand your mind, to help build your dream a little bit. And just some tough love.
Literally tough love. And, you can be a leader in other ways too. Become a leader of a company, become a leader in your community, sit down and figure out what it is that I have a passion for, that I like, that I can actually sustain for a while, that fits within my life, that makes me happy. So remember that.
Before dipping your toes into business ownership too, if you're like, okay, I'm hearing you, I think I can do this, I want to dip my toes in.
We didn't scare you away.
Yeah, we didn't absolutely scare you away from it. I did write down a couple just offer ideas that you can maybe run with. And some of these we've actually done with Refined, with other businesses as well. But the first is you can literally freelance or consult on the side before quitting your actual job.
Just dip your toes in it.
Yeah, just dip your toes. See if you actually like it. See, what is it actually going to take, monetary wise, time wise, systems. What's the investment going to be like? You could launch a beta version of your offer or your services and present it and sell it to real people.
Yes.
And actually, ask for their feedback. They'll understand that it's at a discounted rate. And they're going to be giving feedback, your first timer. That is a great way to launch a first product for your business. Or
you could do
service.
A pop-up or something at a market or an event or something. And those are great ways, not too much to investment, but see if you like it.
Yeah. And then set a yes or no benchmark. So whether that's with an income amount, a certain timeline for yourself, bandwidth, so that time restraint, what does that look like for you? And then stick to it. If you can actually feasibly say, I can do this, then run with it. Go. Go build your dream. If not, understand what it's going to take. And then if you're like, I still want to do this, work yourself up to it. And then the very last one is, can I lead myself even when no one is watching?
It's the hardest thing to do as a business owner.
It is the hardest thing. There are so many days where I just simply am like, okay, I would just much rather work from my bed today, or I don't want to actually get dressed. I want to work from my jammies, or whatever it might be. It's as simple as doing every little thing. And if you go listen to that podcast episode, she talks about this, but doing every single thing throughout your day with excellence.
100%.
Making your, getting up, making your bed in the morning, taking your dogs for a walk, getting yourself moving, prioritizing your own self-care. And then actually, if you're sitting down at your computer, really responding to people, hearing people,
giving it your all clients, every day.
Yes. Making sure that, you're actually leading yourself in a way that in 10 years, it's going to move the needle and you're becoming the woman that you've always dreamed of, or man. And you're not sitting there 10 years later and you're like, I'm still in the same spot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my biggest fear.
Exactly.
So what's your why? Really, what is your why? And is your why big enough? Is your dream big enough? Is your vision big enough to be able to sustain you through what we've talked about today?
Well, a lot of people have a big vision too, and they still don't have the discipline and the risk-taking side. It's not just, you can't have a vision and just be like, I got this, I can go. You have to remind yourself of the vision and hold yourself accountable every single day to get it done and to wake up and go.
With me, sometimes the discipline side, I had to learn pieces.
Yes, you have to be self-aware of what your weaknesses are as a business owner, and specifically know, if this is my weakness, I need to work on this and be aware of this today.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of self-awareness and give yourself feedback and be open to that.
Yes.
So it's really, really big. And nobody, like we talked about this, but nobody's going to validate you. Nobody.
No.
You are responsible for controlling your own mindset, and you get no validation from being a business owner. If you like validation, which a lot of people do, figure out your love language, then definitely see. And that's why I said shadow a CEO, because you'll notice they'll go through their whole day without any validation and they just get things done, and you'll be like, okay, this is not for me.
Yes. Yes. If you like this episode, though, please like and subscribe. Leave us a review. Send us a DM on Instagram or on TikTok. We'd love to hear from you guys. You can follow us at Rise and Refine Podcast on TikTok.
Keep that in.
On TikTok or on Instagram. If you want to check out the Brandon Web Design Studio, you can find us on Instagram at refinemarketing_. We hope that y'all have a lovely Monday.
Yes. Have a great Monday.